was probably the most memorable to you going to Haiti?
Other than the tarantula in my tent.
Oh, tell me about that.
We woke up in the middle of the night one night. It was 2 o'clock in the morning. Some people had come into the orphanage with some tents. And the lights were on. And we looked up and there was a tarantula in our tent. So it was kind of scary. So we got out the 100% deed that we had beside us and just started spraying it and it took off. So, but still, it's kind of hard to go back to sleep after that.
Yeah. How big was it?
It was probably about 3 inches in diameter or something like that. I don't know. It was 2 o'clock in the morning. It looked big to me. The most thing I remember about Haiti is the devastation. But we had to work with a lot of Christian Haitians, local Christian Haitians, because we were with YWAM and they're, from their base. And they truly believe there's revival going on in Haiti, and they truly believe that this is God's way of turning things around. We had a local Haitian man that works with YWAM that came and told us the story of his country, and he did worship with us. And he told us how evil things really were, the 70-80%. So this is from them. This wasn't from Americans. This was from them. 70-80% of their population practiced voodoo. There were human sacrifices being done in the palace. And so it was very significant to the local people that the palace had been completely destroyed in the earthquake. They had 3 days, which was covered on the press a little bit. They had 3 days. What they usually have is a Mardi Gras the last 3 days. Mm-hmm. And they said it's absolutely wild. There's drunkenness and all kinds of wild lasciviousness. But the church rose up and they said they were going to take 3 days to have prayer and fasting. And so that's what they did for 3 days. They had prayer and fasting. And they had revival downtown in Port-au-Prince. And some of the YWAMers were able to actually go up in helicopters over the 3 days all across the country. And they said there were people just gathered all over the country. A lot of people are still disarrayed. They don't know where people are. Mm-hmm. There is no identification. All identification has been destroyed because all the government buildings are destroyed. So, unfortunately, the UN and nobody else has taken the lead to get that done, nor has the Haitian government. So actually, it's YWAM. YWAM has a base in St. Mark. So they've set up computers, and they have all these refugees coming down to St. Mark because they're getting photo IDs for them and get them registered in a computer. So most of the effort that's being done is being done by Christians. We never saw Red Cross. We never saw UNICEF, and we never saw USAID. YWAM was there the day after, though. Because they have bases all over. They had a base in the DR and a base in St. Mark. They were there the very next morning. Mm-hmm. And a lady named Mimi, who was in charge of the DR, was there at the police station the very next morning. They were already setting up emergency medical clinic. And they got ambulances in, and they were the ones that set up to do surgeries across from the palace. And they had the police chief's desk because it was the only hard surface downtown where they could do amputations and stuff, so they were using the police chief's desk. Uh-huh. So they've been there since the morning after, and they're still there. They got a clinic set up there. And the day we went to meet her, I was on a Sunday, and they asked her what her plans were for Monday morning. Mm-hmm. And she said, God's called me to be here for now. And she said, in the morning, Jesus will tell us where we're going today. And they truly walk day by day, and it's just amazing. They have helicopter pilots that come to them and say, listen, we're down here to fly. Where do you want to go today?
So when you arrived, was there any improvement that you saw? I know.
I'm sure they cleaned up the streets a little bit because you could pass on the streets. But other than that, I don't see how. And there's more tents. There are more tents. There's still a majority are in sheets and sticks, but there are tents. So somebody has helped supply some of the tents. There is an organization, a Baptist organization that's down there trying to set up tents outside the city so they can start to get people out of the city because you just can't move. They can't do anything because it's so overwhelming. The rubble's so bad, and wherever there's a bare spot, there's a tent city set up. So they're actually taking PVC pipes. They're called tent makers. And they have PVC pipes and plastic and tarp, and they're using like these heated blow torches things, and they're making these larger, more stable tents for these people so that they can kind of get out of the city because it's just the filth is terrible. It's awful.
You said that there's a spirit of devastation, and you also said that there's hope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The hope is in Jesus. There is no other hope because they have nothing. And You can see a difference. A lot of pictures we take, you can see a difference in the pictures of the faces of the children in the orphanage and the faces of the children in the tent cities. I mean, it's totally different. You know, there's some happiness with the kids in the orphanage. And one night we were there, there were 5 aftershocks in 2 days that we were there, the last few nights. And the last night we were there, we actually had a 4.7 earthquake. It woke us up in the middle of the night.
Oh, wow.
And where we were sleeping to the left were the kids in the orphanage, and most of them have been there all along. There's a few new ones. Most of the kids in the orphanage have been there. But to the right is where the chapel was with the post-op kids. And when it hit, they were just screaming in post-op. They were so scared. So they had to literally take all the kids out of the post-op and put them on stretchers out under the mango tree. So, because they were scared to go back in.
Would you go back?
Oh, yeah, I'm ready to go back. It was hard to leave.
Yeah.
It was very hard to leave. We both cried when we left because we felt like we were abandoning them. There's a lot more to be done.
Mm-hmm. You made a lot of ties with any of that?
Not so much with the people. I don't think we had time enough to make ties with them. They were very appreciative. But with the orphanage, yeah, definitely. With the kids, we spent a lot of time with the kids at night. It was kind of our piece. And we'd have to do worship with them. They sing hymns in Creole, and they sing contemporary songs in English, like "Shout to the Lord," and they sing every night. And the people that work at the orphanage were wonderful. And there's going to be a need to go back there for a while because they're going to have at least 80 post-op kids to take care of for a while. Because they have next to nothing, and everybody's already pulling out. I mean, U.S. Comfort, when we were there, we were not taking any more patients. And that's the Navy hospital ship that's been down there. They weren't taking any more patients, and they were looking for ways to put what they had back into Haiti. And Miami Hospital is already looking for a way to transition because they've been down there for a little while now. It's a big expense for them, so they're trying to figure out how they can just make it an emergency room rehab type of thing. And there's different clinics. Some other people have clinics set up, but a clinic isn't a hospital. The last day we were in Miami, the line for the emergency room was a mile long outside. And people were waiting in 90-degree weather to get in.
And that's just one part.
That's just one part. That's the main part, but that's, So what are they going to do? I don't know. The faith of the people is just amazing. The faith of the local Haitians is amazing, and the faith of the Wyoming people is just amazing, how they take one day at a time and they just go with whatever God tells them to do. And that's how you have to be in that kind of situation. But there were people that quit their jobs to be there. We were with one nurse who quit her job. She was another IC nurse from Texas. And she said she'd find something when she got back. She was going to stay in Haiti. And there was a 19-year-old EMT girl. Her name was Sarah. And she quit her job and went to Haiti. And she's staying there till she knows she's done. And she said she'll find a job when she gets back, too. Wow. So the faith in young people especially was very inspiring.
For those of us who aren't nurses, and just, for the youth of America, like college age especially, what can we do to... I know most of us have given online, but is there anything else?
You can get on a team to go if you want. We had not just doctors and nurses on our teams. We had a young man from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, just a big burly guy who was kind of there to do whatever. He went into tent making one day. And when you go with Wyoming, they don't just put Mercy Works. They don't just put you in medical situations. Like some of the team went out to do tent making. And mobile clinics. We had the girl that helped with the pharmacy stuff was a 19-year-old girl from Montana. Who went down. So there's definitely teams and things, and there's a lot of tent making stuff going on. And they're going to be teams going down to rebuild for a long time. Not just Mercy Works. I know Convoy of Hope is getting ready with the assemblies, is getting ready to send some teams down to do some building. So there's lots of organizations that are going down to start building, but they're all Christian based, which is amazing. I mean, if we don't do it, nobody else is going to do it.
Yeah.
So plug in. It's a life-changing experience. For sure.